Someone should have showed up by this time. Been open long enough. Oh yes. This may be another one of those days when I'm the only person here. But as long as education is voluntary, not on the part of the student, of course. But when Daddy says you go to school, you go, and if he says you're not going, you're not going. And unfortunately, there's no way to tell the teacher in advance who's coming and who isn't. So this is not new. This has happened before. It'll happen again. So, I see no one. I hear no one. I've already rung the bell earlier to let everyone know it's time to come. School's about to open. Let's see, what am I going to do for the rest of the day? And how much longer do I wait? Well, I can do something constructive perhaps. I can catch up on my reading. Mr. Hill sent his daughter to take this copy of the Lynchburg Virginian so that I can read it. That was very nice of him. And it's dated the 29th of April, so it's not terribly old. Maybe there'll be something here of interest. Maybe there'll be something here I can use, either for myself or for the school. First page. Oh, this is interesting. Railroad iron wanted, Virginia and Tennessee Railroad Office, Lynchburg, March 16th. Proposals will be received in this office until the 8th of May next for the delivery in Lynchburg of iron rails for the Virginia and Tennessee Railroad to be manufactured in or near this town of Virginia Iron. The Virginia and Tennessee, they've started construction. Where are they, I wonder? I haven't seen anything about a route. I don't know if they're going to make it to Franklin County. It's of interest anyway. Oh, hats. There's a graphic here for a hat. Sign of the big hat. Who's selling hats? William Stitzler in Lynchburg. What does he have? We have number 1 grade Panama hats, also number 2s. We have fine, fashionable Leghorn hats. Leghorn hats? I have not a clue. Children's, boys, infants don't need any of those. Caps. I wouldn't mind a cap. I'd rather have a hat. Maybe one of those nice Panama hats if the brim is substantial. Now that it's almost June, it's going to get very warm. Also, beaver hats. No. Not for me, beaver hats, no. Those are for people who make far more money than I do. And speaking of money, what was it I last looked at? I'm owed $4.26 by the parents. And someday I'll get a chicken. Produce, flowers, any flowers. Article on the opium trade. I am not an imbiber of that. Mr. Calhoun, John C. Calhoun? It doesn't say, but I assume that's him. Yeah. $100,000. And what, a will? It doesn't exactly say. Books. Oh, very good, books. Something perhaps useful for the school. An Encyclopedia of Chemistry by J.C. Booth. No. Complete work on chemistry by Lehig. Popular Delusions by no. White Jacket by Melvick. Redwood by Sedgwick. No, nothing looks to be useful here. Manufacture of Iron by Overman. Druggist's Receipt. No, nothing is useful here. What's on the back page? Land for sale? Not for me. Education? Now that's of interest. It's N.C. Taliaferro. Don't know if that's male or female. This is in Lynchburg. Oh, my stars. Languages. Also mathematics, algebra, geometry, survey and trigonometry, analytical geometry and topography. I assume, okay, this is for one session for a year, $30. Suffice to say, these children would never set foot in a place like this. And the children that I have the honor to teach, they would never be allowed to go to a place like this. $30? I cannot imagine. Worm medicine, I can imagine that. And hope I never need it. Land sale. Hamilton and Adams, Daguerrean artist. It might be nice to have my daguerreotype. Something. Female school. Mrs. F.H. Chaplin, yes. Terms, $15. Even so, my children is just way beyond their parents' capabilities. Land for sale, 900 acres. I couldn't even afford 9 acres on my pay. What else? We have... Am I reading that properly? Is that correct? Does it say what I think it says? It does. Senatorial dignity. Isn't that what they call... That's... thinking... oxymoron. That's an oxymoron. Oh. And what do they have to say about senatorial dignity? For the proper regulation of society, men have adopted, prescribed, and practiced rules. A deviation from these rules is highly discreditable, unless, of course, you have an exemption. A deviation from those rules is highly discreditable, and thus, which is applicable to individuals is also applicable to bodies of men, and is probably more obligatory upon the latter, unless they pass a law that says it doesn't apply to them. The markets, tobacco, $5.50 for a lug. I don't raise tobacco. How much is a lug? Flour. Richmond Supervine is held at $5.12 a bushel. Interesting. Still haven't seen anything useful though. Memes and Watkin, ready-made clothing. I don't have any need really for ready-made clothing. The families provide me with what I need, room, board, and if I need it, well, this shirt, my shirt that I'm wearing. One of the wives made that for me. Grocer, commission agent, another daguerreotypian gallery, Daguerrean gallery, J.H. Whitehurst. Guggenheim and Untermeyer, what do they? Dry goods. Another dry goods. Does anyone do wet goods? I don't recall seeing anything about wet goods. Well, that's all quite interesting. I didn't see anything useful. I wonder if Mr. Hill wants this back. I'll have to ask his daughter when I see her next, whenever that may be. And there's no point, no one is coming, no point in my staying here any longer. So, well, how's this? Triumph of learning. I will read that before I shut down for the day. Mind constitutes the majority of man, virtue his true mobility. I think they meant to say nobility. The tide of improvement, which is now flowing through the land like another Niagara, is destined to roll on downward to the latter posterity, and it will bear on its bosom our virtues, our vices, our glory, of our shame. I think they meant to say, or our shame. Well, they need a good proofreader. Put this back so nothing happens to it. Give it back. And, well, before I do that, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little vignette, taking into account the real Lynchburg Gazette for April 29th, 1850. Everything that I read to you from this paper actually appeared word for word, including the errors, in the paper. Nothing was made up. I don't have to do that. Hope you've enjoyed it, and it's good to see everybody again. Hope you're all doing well. That's it for today's program. There will be more coming. Might have a new hat, perhaps. But in the meantime, until such time as our paths cross once again, and they will, I have the honor to remain your most respectful and obedient servant, Dave Diggs, coming to you as always from a long time ago. Thank you once again. Do take care of yourselves. Not a soul in sight, no one.